Let me ask you something. Have you ever experienced a situation when your Mac felt hotter than usual when you were not even doing anything heavy? Maybe just browsing like few tabs open or checking mails, maybe editing something light, and suddenly the fans spin up. The keyboard starts feeling warm and your first thought is something is wrong. Heat by itself is not a problem. The real question is, does it cool down after the real pressure ends? Because there is a big difference between a Mac that gets warm under load and one that slowly stops recovering. So today, I will walk you through 6 practical things to check before a warm Mac becomes consistent and turns into a slow one. Before we fix anything, first let's understand when heat is completely normal. It is normal for your MacBook to warm up during heavy workflows, like exporting video, compiling some code, running Zoom plus a screen share at the same time, connected to one or more external monitors. Also very important, you may experience a similar situation after the first 24 to 48 hours of a major macOS update or an upgrade. Indexing, syncing, machine learning analysis can put your new device under some extra strain temporarily. Now here is your measurable indicator. When the heavy task ends, does it cool down and do the fans spin down within a few minutes? If yes, that's normal behavior. But if it stays warm for no reason, we need to diagnose that. First, let's find out what's using the CPU. Open Activity Monitor. Click on CPU tab at the very top. Now click on the Percentage CPU tab here. In this window, don't react for these spikes here at the bottom. What is the CPU load? Don't worry about that. Watch for the specific pattern. But if you notice 50 to 70% CPU load in this window, while you're barely using anything heavy, like not even multiple apps, then that is definitely a problem. At the same time, you can also click on this tab Energy here and then check the energy impact by specific apps open. Some apps don't spike aggressively, they just stay moderately active all day, and that still produces heat. The key question is not, did it spike? It is, did it return to the baseline? And if it never settles, that is the first signal that we figured already, that is causing more heat to your Mac. Sometimes a lot of heating is also caused by a browser behavior, especially if you're using Google Chrome. Chrome runs multiple processes simultaneously. Each tab can become its own process. Extensions add background load, wherein hardware acceleration can push GPU usage. If you see multiple Chrome helper processes stacking up in Activity Monitor, that's usually tab plus extension load altogether. If you wish to test your browser impact on GPU, especially Google Chrome, go ahead and copy links from these tabs one by one, open Safari private window, paste them in different tabs there one by one, then close Google Chrome and now check how GPU is behaving. When it comes to storage management on MacBook, I have that 20% rule. I suggest users and apply it to myself, a 20% always empty space on MacBook main drive that allows MacBook to freely swap and caching. However, if that empty space drops below 10%, then you're going to definitely notice a significant change in the performance and the way your Mac is going to behave. In fact, that is also going to cause extra heat. When memory pressure rises, the system leans on storage. More disk activity means more workload, and more workload means more heat. If you put two MacBooks side by side with the same storage capacity, let's say one has below 10% space empty on it, another one has plenty, you're going to clearly feel a significant performance difference immediately while you're browsing the websites or rendering a video file. Anything you're doing, you're going to feel that immediately. Personally, I'm always very cautious about maintaining good amount of space on my main Mac drive. When I'm working on heavy projects, especially for editing, I mostly keep my projects on the external SSDs. Also, I move the large media files to the external SSDs. And this discipline actually helps me keep my MacBook internal pressure always minimal. First thing, let me make you feel comfortable about this window. In Activity Monitor, when you open this window, you see a number of processes shuffling back and forth. And a lot of users think this is some kind of a pro stuff and they don't pay attention to it. So let me tell you, this is pretty normal stuff. So sometimes when your Mac is getting hotter, it is not you. There are some processes that can temporarily spike that heat. For example, if you notice anything like photoanalysisd, media analysisd, MDS, or MDS stores, they can temporarily create a spike after updates or photo imports. That is Apple Silicon doing indexing and machine learning processing. If it is normal indexing, then CPU usage should decline gradually within next 20 to 60 minutes. But if it feels stuck, then you can just restart your Mac, then leave it idle and plugged in. Don't interrupt repeatedly, just leave it the way it is for some time. External monitors with a scaled resolution, SDR enabled, with a high refresh rate can be common causes. If you want to test it, you can switch resolution to default for display, disable SDR temporarily, and lower the refresh rate if you can. Now monitor the behavior, how your MacBook is reacting to that. Now let's talk about two overlooked triggers that can really cause some serious heat to your MacBook. First, airflow. Using your MacBook on soft surfaces like sofa, bed, cushions. Second, power stability. If you're using a cheap third-party power adapter, that can cause unstable power draw, which increases unnecessary heat. Under battery settings, you should also ensure that optimized battery charging is enabled. It does not reduce immediate battery heat, but it does reduce the long-term battery stress. If you still can't identify the real cause of heat, then restart it once. After restart, give it about 2 to 3 minutes before you even open a single app. And notice that behavior, how your MacBook is acting. Is it still getting warmer without even opening a single app? If heat disappears, it was temporary. It was not some kind of sustained load. However, if it returns immediately, that's a matter of concern. MacBooks are designed to push hard. Sometimes they can get warm, which is normal, but they are not supposed to stay under sustained pressure. Remember this, there's something pretty cool about MacBooks. Your Mac slows itself down before it damages itself, and that's thermal throttling. If it is warm under load and then recovers on its own, that's absolutely normal. But if it struggles to recover, then you know exactly what to check. Now, if you're ready to learn how to maintain your Mac on your own without any technical expertise, then here's the video for you. And before you go, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe Crazy Errors for future tech tips, tricks, and solutions. Until next time, you take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next one.